Welcome, willkommen,
Bienvenue, добро пожаловать, витamy,
benvenuto,
ようこそ
to This Week in Voice Live.
Bradley, good morning.
Emerson, good morning to you. How are you?
I am very well. How about yourself?
Doing good. Doing good. End of another week.
Yeah. It is crazy how quickly things are speeding up this year, and things are starting to head back towards normalcy, it seems.
It feels like the world's moving too fast almost. It's really bizarre.
Yeah. I think I certainly am ready for some return to normalcy. I think a lot of people are as well.
Well, and we hope to start moving that direction with what we're doing with Project Voice 100. We're excited about it. I'll continue to encourage people. There's been a little bit of misperception. We've invited some people to come and had conversations just in the running course of business. But if somebody wants to attend, they should be contacting us, and we'll see what we can do about it. It's going to be full for our capacity, but there's things that we have at our disposal to try to help people who want to come, and if they're at that executive level or whatever, and it'll be a good example for people. Hey, we can do this, we can do it safely, so we're excited about it.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a fantastic event, and it sort of parlays into some of what we are going to talk about today. I guess in terms of agenda, taking a little bit of a different approach today, we're going to be skipping more traditional news, but really focused on news about some of the stellar innovators, individual contributors, brands in the voice space that are winners or finalists of the 2021 Project Voice Awards. And we're actually also going to be kicking it old school with a Project Voice Live, or This Week in Voice Live Tetris tournament.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. We'll talk about the awards. First of all, it's important for people to know with the awards that there is a nomination period, and the nomination period moved as the conference moved. But there's a nomination period. That's how this works. We solicit some nominations from people in categories where we feel like we don't have enough. If we don't get enough critical mass around a category, sometimes we remove it. In other situations, we'll just go ahead and award a winner, like Brett Kinsella for Commentator of the Year. There's not a critical mass there, but who else should there be? So, we sort of have a process with it. But I want to spend a second and just roll through the Outstanding Achievement Awards. There's a lot of categories. There's a lot of companies and individuals up for different things. It's really exciting. But the Outstanding Achievement Awards are the highest honor that we bestow. And, last year, we had people from Amazon. We had like David Spitsky, we had Kathy Pearl, we had Brian Romley, and it really went well. And so we wanted to duplicate that this year. I'm just going to roll through these. So Sanjay Dewan and Mark Benjamin, there's almost, you could make an argument that there's no bigger story in voice since voice technology sort of exploded with the onset of Alexa than Cerence spinning off from Nuance. Because if that's a thing that can happen, one publicly traded company in voice spinning off another publicly traded company in voice, where both of them are surpassing expectations and really doing well, that's it's hard to find stories that big, and so we wanted to celebrate that. That's what that achievement award is about.
Well, and I love that they are used in like 250. The AI that Cerence produces is used in like 250 million cars today, and that's unbelievable for a company that, Nuance has been around for quite some time, but Cerence certainly has not. Unbelievable for a company that has only been on the market as long as it has. And I think there are maybe a handful of the major auto manufacturers that they're not in, but they're in nearly every single major auto manufacturer. It is just a testament to sort of their market dominance in that AI for automotive space. And it's one of those companies that, you don't see their flashy logo when you boot up your car. They give the credit back to the auto manufacturer, so it's a branded experience. But really just amazing how it impacts so many people's lives that perhaps have never even heard of the company.
It's a great group. It's a great group of folks. They absolutely mean business. They've come in just kicking a lot of ass, and and we've gotten to know them well. It's a great story, and they're not going to stop. And that's the important thing. They're just getting going.
Yep.
The two co-founders of Clubhouse. So the Clubhouse thing. I'm not on board, but I'm on board, but I'm not on board. And there's no question they have captivated a lot of people, and they have helped get a lot of people through the pandemic. This latter chapter of the pandemic, they have helped people convene. They've helped people form relationships. They've helped people pass time, focus their thoughts elsewhere while they've been stuck at home. And they have a permanent place in the history books, even if they go the route that I suggest that they go, and they're just sort of a pandemic fad. Better to be a pandemic fad than nothing at all. But they're going to have opportunities to parlay this into other things, and that'll ultimately determine if we're talking about them next year. But in terms of this year, there's almost no bigger story there too. Daniela Braga of Define Crowd, the first female CEO of a conversational AI company to raise the amount of money that they've raised. She doesn't get a lot of credit. The story that was in the New York Times that talked about how Amazon, alleging that Amazon was stealing some trade secrets from them or otherwise not operating in an ethical manner, sort of came and went. But that story shaped a lot of where we are right now. That story was foundational when the stuff that happened toward the end of Trump happened, to set the stage for this sort of taciturn view we have now on big tech. And Daniela is a fierce competitor, and it's great to have her on that list. And I'm just going to keep. You just interject whenever you want to. Emerson.
Well, the Define Crowd. That's a company that's near and dear to my heart. We do a little bit of work with them at Bespoken, but given my background in crowdsourcing, specifically crowdsourcing for AI data gathering, it's something that I'm very familiar with. If people have not seen, I definitely invite you to check out their Define Data product and vision. They have this sort of capability that wants to democratize access to meaningful training data for AI systems, as well as a marketplace to be able to contribute to and grow that data set. And so for companies that would not historically have the resources or the capability to gather the tens, hundreds of thousands, or millions of utterances required to train their own NLP platforms, they provide, a nice sort of off-the-shelf, easily consumable set of information to do that. Really unique offering in the space. So definitely check out Define Data if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, you're going to be hearing a lot more about them for sure. John Stein, Open Voice Network. What do you need to know about what he's doing? Massive impact to the voice and AI landscape in a very short amount of time. Expert at bringing people in to allow them to make contributions where they're capable of making contributions, and really forming a powerful coalition of people who are aligned bullish on the future of Open Voice Network.
I mean, he's one of the kindest and most thoughtful people that I've had the pleasure of meeting and working with. Shameless plug for the Open Voice Network. Definitely check it out and join. Always, all of the different work groups. Always looking for more participants and contributors. But I can't think of anybody better than John to lead up that kind of initiative.
Well, and the story is kind of getting forgotten, and I think it's fine that it's forgotten. But it's like, I was going to start and did start VoiceFirst.community with Pete Erickson, with Brett Kinsella, with Ron Krohn, with some other players in the field to be this advocacy. Found John Stein, I just dropped it cold because there was no reason to continue. He was much further down the road. He's a much better suited guy to do it than I am. He's the right guy. And so I just stopped it. It's just I stopped that day. And it's not a joke. So look, he's a champion of the space, and glad he's on this list. The team behind iVal.ai. So part of our job is to expand the tent. We've got to continue to expand. If we're not finding new people doing interesting things, we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. And this group from iVal.ai, their whole thing involves cultural representation within AI, and all this stuff about making sure there's not bias in AI and all these sort of hot button things you hear talked about. They are the absolute ringleader in terms of progress being made on that front. And we're honored to have them keynote Project Voice Worldwide. I'm looking forward to hearing what they have.
That's great.
Say. Yeah, they're a fascinating group of people.
Yeah, that notion of bringing cultural sensitivity and not just cultural sensitivity for the sake of having it, but for the accuracy and the reality of the different groups that they're trying to serve with the various AI agents that they put out is a fascinating story.
It for sure. We honored Amazon last year for the Voice Interoperability Initiative with an Outstanding Achievement Award. This year, we're honoring Google for this startup accelerator that they're doing. It's a great group. It's
another shameless plug. Bespoken is very pleased to be a member of that Google for Startup Accelerator.
Somehow Bespoken snuck through the cracks, but everybody else.
Yeah, it is almost intimidating to be in a field of 11 other extraordinary companies. I mean, there are companies that are like Babbly that are developing speech or language learning and growth tools to see how your infant or toddler is developing. There are tools like Piffle that are trying to bring compassion and enjoyment and a sense of community back to the workplace. There are companies that are trying to reinvent what it means to take a meeting with people, or how effective you could be coming out of a meeting. We'll see some of these companies, I'm sure, here in the coming weeks here on This Week in Voice Live. But the work that they have done to date just to be able to get into the program, and then the work that the ringers that Google is putting us through over the next 2 months or so, it'll be amazing to see how Bespoken and all of these other companies grow as well.
It's a good group. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously well done, and so we wanted to include that. Nick Schwab, Sleep Sounds. I think that it's easy to take for granted that some individual entrepreneur surged into a bunch of found money by being the first, to play in a meaningful area of these mainstream voice assistants, which is these sleep sounds that he does. But the fact that he left his full-time job and has continued to innovate and blaze a trail, his persistence is now the story. So his coming on the scene was the story years ago. Now it's the fact that he's persisting and he's making it work. That's a story that doesn't need to get lost, and that's what we wanted to champion him for here by giving him an Outstanding Achievement Award.
Yeah, and that's Nick is another one. It's almost like what we were saying about Searance, that who knows how many tens of millions or more people have been influenced by Nick's apps, have gotten a better sleep thanks to his sleep sounds. Certainly one of the, if not still the most popular skills on the Alexa marketplace. And I would expect that outside of the voice industry, probably not that many people know that.
Yeah, he's it's a story that's worth continuing to tell. The next three are agencies. So we wanted to highlight some of these agencies that are just doing remarkable work to move things forward. We got Rain, Nithya from Rain. We got Brandon from Skilled Creative, and we've got Tobias from Willow Tree. And we thought it was important. We didn't want to honor one and not the others. They're sort of on equal footing from an equity standpoint. They're not equal, but they're equitable in terms of the accomplishments that they have brought to the table. And so that's what those are about. All three of them in different and interesting ways have moved things forward, over the last year in a profound way. And then the last one is Mark Gray of Constant Companion. And, Constant Companion, I don't think gets paid nearly enough attention to. I don't understand why. It's a company started by, I just got done writing this on LinkedIn. A guy I used to work with, and my first job out of business school is starting. He was retired for a week, he said, and then he's now starting a new business at like 60 or 70 years old. I grew up in that environment. So I grew up around a family business that was started by my grandfather, who was in his 60s. And in his 50s, he started 3 failed businesses. And in his 60s, he started a steel and wire business that became very successful. And so I grew up all around that, in a family business, and that being it. And, I'm well aware that an entrepreneur can come at any age. And, when you look at Mark Gray, you see some of that as well. He's an older guy, but he's a smart guy. And the work, Constant Companion getting their smart speaker voice technology, Medicare or Medicaid reimbursable, whichever it is such a landmark achievement for the space and voice in healthcare that you couldn't possibly talk about it enough. So that rounds out the list, and just wanted to really focus on them this morning. But ultimately, everybody who's a finalist or who wins an award will be celebrated.
Yeah, and I do love the Constant Companion. I mean, my parents are finally coming around to the smart speaker and voice assistant world, slowly but surely. And Constant Companion, if people don't know about it, like at its most basic and most reductive, it's like the life alert emergency beacons, but it's so much more than that, because it really is a constant companion. It enables communication with your care team, communication with your family. It enables listening to radio stations, changing the TV, setting alarms and reminders, tracking your historical sentiment. I mean, there are so many things that they try to do and bring into the mainstream, and it will be interesting to see how that continues to develop, as well as both, my generation, your generation, Bradley, and our parents' generation become more comfortable, more familiar with this technology.
Well said. Ready to play some Tetris?
Yeah, let's do it. So for anybody who is going to be joining us, if you visit tetr.io, I've got some instructions there on the screen. Visit tetr.io. You can create. You actually don't need to create an account. You can just log in. Pick a random username that you want. you click on multiplayer, and then at the top you'll see an option to type in a room code. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen.
So if we type in a username and we hit join, and then we say password, is the password the 4-letter code here?
No, the password is if you want to save your username for all time, but then I think you have to confirm in an email or something. I wouldn't worry about the password, but if you just hit stay anonymous, it'll still let you log in, and then you go to
stay anonymous on here.
It was in that same pop-up that had pick a password.
Oh, is it okay? It says back. I forgot. Oh no. Oh, it says the username is registered. That's why. All right. Well,
somebody else already got it.
Okay, stay anonymous. There we go. And then there's a CAPTCHA here.
And I'm going to assume, Bradley, you're probably much better at Tetris than I am.
I mean, let's hope. We're in a room.
There's Bradley.
There we go. All right, now the control. All right, yeah, I got to look at my controls.
Yeah,
here.
so it's really just just your directional pad up and down. Change the rotation of the item, left and right. Move it left and right.
Okay. And then
I guess actually up changes the direction of the item. Down would make it fall down. This shows how little I know about Tetris. All right, welcome guest 8274391. If you are out there in the chat, say hi so we know who you are.
All right, so if I hit got it. Okay.
Yep, and then we will. I think we need at least 4 people to have a proper tournament, so we'll give people another minute or two. Oh, welcome guest 1568.
You got some nice music in here. This is a good find, Emerson.
Yeah, the music's pretty good. All right. Give people another 30 seconds or so to join in.
It says, please remember to be civil to your opponents.
I guess that's words to live by, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
I don't really consider you opponents, so I guess that solves that problem.
So let's go ahead and I guess we'll go ahead and get this started. People that are still watching
I like how you just ignored that.
Oh, any game that I play, I definitely consider my competitors' opponents. We'll go ahead and get this started. Anybody that's watching can still join with that code and get you guys in on the next round. Oh, hello, Anon user 1234, and we will give away for if somebody other than Bradley or I win, we'll give away some of that sweet, delicious bot coin for whomever another winner is. So if you're one of the guests or the Anon user, make sure to either screenshot if you win or send us a note here in chat, and we will get this going.
Oh, we got it. We got a 6. We got H. Smith.
All right. So we will only be able to see on my screen. We'll only be able to see me and one other person. How you doing there, Bradley?
I'm doing good. How are you, Emerson?
I feel rusty. I should have practiced. Oof, this has my adrenaline going. Oh no, it's getting faster. Oh. Oh, jeez. Oh no. Oh, jeez.
Bye-bye.
Oh, man. Bradley, we may have found your game.
Look, if I can't win in Tetris, I told Walt I'd be happy to beat him in Tetris. I better win it right here.
Man, that was tough. All right, well, we can't... Got a minute and a half left, so I don't think there's going to be enough time for another game. But
what more do you need to see?
Yeah, yeah. Got to end on a high note, right?
I'm going to talk trash while I can.
All right, yeah. Next time, I will definitely do a little more practice.
What a great game! Yeah, we need to do that again, and that just worked well.
Yeah, that was good. That was good, and we've got some fun ideas for future games too. So we'll keep it active and exciting.
Take the bot coin and give it to somebody just out of sympathy.
All right, let's see. Bradley, pick a number between 1 and 4.
2.
2. All right. Guest 1568210. 1568210. Whoever you are, take a screenshot of your page showing that it shows in the top right-hand corner that you're actually the guest, whoever you are. Take a screenshot and shoot me a note, and we will give you some of that delicious Bitcoin, which has risen meteorically in value over the last few weeks. I should have listened to Brett and Brian Romley and dumped my life savings into that coin.
I don't think Brian Romley's supporting Brett is.
Well, Brian is big on the unique cryptos, I would say.
Yeah, so we're happy to do that. And Emerson, yeah, you got a winner here with this Tetris.io or whatever. Good, yeah. Appreciate you finding that.
Yeah, that was pretty great. Well, Bradley, as always, it's a pleasure to see you.
Yeah, you too, Emerson. Have a good weekend. Thank you to everybody who makes time for watching the show. We appreciate you. Thanks for ending the week with us, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah.